In this video, we're going to talk about Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now, in this fight, we need to bring up the fact that Jeff Neal missed weight. And the reason I want to bring this up is because the reason he missed weight isn't really known. Like, I haven't watched the post-fight interviews yet, so maybe I'm sure someone asked him about it, but it's neither here nor there. As for now, it's just a disclaimer. It's an unknown for me. So, don't know why. But it's not usual, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. Normally, Jeff isn't off weight. He's usually on weight just fine. He's not missing weight. He's not dealing with a lot of that stuff or anything. He's in there. He looks fit. He looks ready. Looks healthy, looks like he's done everything he should be doing on weight, all that good stuff. But he didn't even look like he normally looks. He looked like he had a little bit of extra there around the gut, like he wasn't really able to put in the exercise he would normally have put in the camp to cut down the weight, which is kind of strange, and I'm curious as to why. So I hope somebody asked him and he gave an answer during the interview, and that I can at least find that tomorrow, because I don't watch the post fight interviews the same night. I watch them the next day. So there's that. But I want to point out the fact that during the fight we had Herb Dean, easily, if not the best, like at least active ref in the UFC or for the UFC fights. He is easily one of the top refs within the UFC. There's not really many people who you could say are better than him at doing this job. Shavkat Rakhmonov had his mouthpiece knocked out of his mouth and continued to fight. Herb Dean didn't even notice that it was gone. It was just poof, not there, and Shavkat didn't even seem to give a shit. Just there, fighting away. Didn't matter. He's just going to do his thing. He's here to fight. Who cares if you have a mouth guard? Fight's on, buddy. So that's what he is doing. Meanwhile, Herb's just circling around doing his thing, almost steps on the mouth guard, doesn't even notice it's there, and Joe Rogan gets his attention and points out that it's there to get a break so the Shavkat Rakhmonov can get his mouth guard back. It's a blunder. Like, everybody makes mistakes, and that's what this is. But I feel like I can't talk about this fight without pointing it out, because it was huge. Like that, he was missing a mouth guard for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It was a long time to not have a mouth guard in the middle of an MMA fight. There was a lot going on in that period of time. Then we had like a change in the fight in the third round. Like, it was pretty consistent the first two rounds, right? Like, Shavkat Rakhmonov's doing his thing. He's in, he's out, rolling, shoulder rolls, slipping and dodging and countering, and Jeff Neal's doing his thing. He's in there, slipping and dodging and landing his shots, and it's a decent back and forth, but it does appear that Shavkat Rakhmonov is getting the best of the fight at this point. And then all of a sudden, Brunson just connects real good. And Shavkat Rakhmonov looks rocked. Like, he looks like, oh, that one got me just a little bit. See some stars here, get some ringing in the ears. Like, I really need a moment here to collect myself. And it changed the pace and the momentum of the fight in the third round. The way that Rakhmonov was interacting with and trying to maintain the fight really just kind of took a turn there. And once again, it needs to be said, they both showed that they have amazing chins. Amazing chins. Both of them got rocked. Both of them took heavy shots multiple times. And neither of them were giving in. Like, neither of them went out. Still going hard. Great chins on them both. Then we get there toward the end of the third round, and Shavkat, Rakhmonov, and Jeff end up over by the fence, right? So you've got this obstacle here that they're leaning up against just a little bit, and Rakhmonov ends up behind Neal, gets him in a standing rear naked, and chokes him. Gets a tap. Jeff Neal waited just a moment too late to tap. He goes to sleep, unconscious. We had a standing rear naked choke to unconsciousness. Rakhmonov got another finish. This guy has a 100% finish rate and is undefeated. That's impressive. Like, if it was only 3 or 4 fights, that wouldn't be so impressive. But this is like, what, his 9th or 10th fight now? Undefeated, all finishes. Now, even if you're fighting no-name guys and you're winning and people want to, oh, well, he's a no-name, he's a no-name, he's a no-name. He might be a no-name now, but in like a year or two, that guy might be a star or a top contender. You don't know who these guys are going to become. And the fact of the matter is, a finish is way harder to get than just a decision. So having undefeated record with finishes for every single fight, that's highly, highly impressive. And it baffles me that people still don't seem to really respect this man at all. They still seem to undervalue him. And that has to be why they gave him Jeff Neal. Because the UFC understands this guy shouldn't be fighting no-names and unranked guys. He's too much of a contender for that. His skill level's too high for in this weight division to not be getting a little more respect, maybe have a number next to his name, maybe just be in the right general space within the promotion, within the sport, that he's got the respect and momentum to move forward toward a title fight, which he deserves to be doing. Not only that, but then what's he do during the interview? Exactly what he should be doing. He promotes himself a little bit and calls out a fighter. Colby Chaos Covington. A name not many people call out. A guy who hasn't been active in a long time now. We haven't seen him in a real long time. Supposedly he's injured and dealing with stuff following that injury after getting his tooth knocked out from George Masvidal after eating steak. So I guess we're going to see what happens with that, because Covington's not one to get many call-outs. He's also not one to keep his mouth shut. So let's keep our eyes open for some goings on there, because Covington is always fun to watch in a build-up.